Hey, this is Morning Jew with Heather Gold and another Jew. Shalom. Now it's the afternoon, but that means it's morning for Jewish time. That's right, for our first one that'll go up. So, Morning Jew, we give you headlines of our choice, news stories, and what we ask is it good for the Jews, no matter what. So let's start off with first story I saw today. Top of CNN started headlining with their biggest story of the day on their site is a Jew story. Leo Frank died, was lynched. Do you know? You don't know? You don't know who Leo Frank was, do you? And you're a super political, progressive-y, semi-communist woman. Yeah, I know. Well, our grandparents will know who this is. Leo Frank was the only Jew lynched in America. He was killed. Well, everyone says be the best or the first at something. That's what makes you worthwhile in America, right? Leo Frank was lynched 90 years ago. He was dragged from prison. He wasn't even like at home or anything. They came and got him in prison to lynch him. And why? Because he was accused of raping and killing a 13-year-old white girl who worked in the factory that he was managing. He was a Yankee who went down to Atlanta for a job to manage a pencil factory. Back when industrialization was all exciting and those were the kind of jobs people had, and 13-year-olds had jobs in pencil factories. And yeah, and a black man testified against him who couldn't read. I don't know all the details. It's a whole. So this is like a story with everything, like something for everyone. Right. Well, according to this CNN story, that well, this time a black guy got to blame a Jew, a Yankee Jew boss, who yeah, who'd had his throat already cut. Anyway, part of the story, they say that the people who lynched him were like the lawyers and doctors and the politicians of the town, like the white collar people. Now the Jews of the Goyim. Right, right. So that's what happened. So this story was never upper class lynching. The case long before Clarence Thomas came up with high tech lynching. And this story's never the case has never been solved. It happened 90 years ago. There's a documentary airing on PBS Monday about it. Kind of intense, huh? Disturbing. You were. It's very Jewy way to start off the week, though. So the Jews could tell themselves, "Hey, we're not being lynched anymore." Feel good about that, people. There were a couple of Italians that were lynched. You're the one with the socialist background. Sacco and Vanzetti, weren't they lynched? Huh. I can't remember. That's it. I thought there was some mob element in my legally. Oh, that makes all the difference. It makes the person getting killed feel that much better about it. So, Al Franken amendment. Can you explain this amendment to me? More. This is something that's pending in Congress right now. That Al Frank is this the first thing Al Franken's introduced? Let the Jewish comedian do. What does he do? He tries to say, if you want money, you can't rape anyone. They have a lot of things in their contract saying, you indemnify us. Nice little kidnapping for, and this was done by KBR or something. So the money that L. Franken's trying to attach this amendment to is money for the troops, money for Kellogg Bretton Root, money for who? Do you know? And did we even say about Leo Frank documentary Good for the Jews that this thing is happening? You'd say, and how about L. Franken? Good for the Jews that he's putting a little rape amendment in there? Interesting. How many female GOPers are there at this point? All zero of them voted? There's Olympia. I always want to call her Dukakis in the Senate. That's the only one I know. And there's Kay Bailey Hutchinson. These are the senators. I don't know about the about it in the House. So it was like a little crafty move. It was a little crafty move. Has he done anything particularly funny, or is he now going to not be funny? This seems the most important thing to me. Don't drop the rape amendment. Basically, you can't keep them from suing you if they get raped working for you. I don't know if that works for the female soldiers. I just saw a statistic today that more female soldiers have post-traumatic stress from being raped and harassed by their own forces than from combat. Right. There's video of the person who got raped. Um, oh, you know her name. Confronting some Republican senator. And is Franken now automatically like the Jewiest senator in the country? Like it didn't take much. Does this make him Jewier that he did this? Because it's sort of like, supporting the victim. Why? They're from New York. Okay, so he's not Franken's not from New York. Right, live from Saturday night, etc. Well, that's like practically Israel. Saturday Night Live. Israel in America. I know. Pretty much. Did right. 30. It's both, like all good things. So they can all, feel good about people who want to feel like it's just theirs by themselves. What's next? We've got, you said you want to talk about, we can't go right to another depressing thing. So let's go upbeat. Pat Tillman, that's upbeat. It's a day of sadness. Pat Tillman was a soldier who was like, he looks like they invented him to be in the movies. You look, he has like the squarest jaw in the world, and they have the picture of him with the beret that comes all the way over his eye. He looks super suave and like tough. And I think he gave up professional football to fight in Iraq, which is like the biggest, like he sacrificed the biggest dream you could have in the US for like, the most noble cause. And what happens? He's killed by American fire, kind of like the Kellogg Brennan. The male equivalent of the Kellogg-Brennan root having you raped and locked in a container. And then what happens is his boss, or the guy who's in charge of the military, McChrystal, um, futzes some paperwork to get him some kind of prize. I think it's called a Silver Star, that says he was killed from enemy combatant fire, but he wasn't. So John Krakauer has a book out now, and he basically was on Meet the Press and said there is no way it is possible that that is not a lie, that the guy who's now running the war in Iraq is saying. So it's kind of calling it, no one's really been questioning the guy running the war, McChrystal, no one's said anything about his character. Now people tend to believe, I guess, John Krakauer in his reporting, so they're saying there's no way. And also that Pat Tillman is like, such a story you can see. It's like Leo Frank, these kind of perfect, huge stories that people want to talk about that seem symbolic and archetypal. Pat Tillman is maybe the least Jewish person to ever live in America. Yeah, and how do you know this, by the way? Then why did he join? I see. He was, it was a 9/11 kind of thing? Okay, so Chomsky, people would think you have to be really super left wing going to communist day camp to go to read Chomsky, summer camp. He just looked so, he's like the ultimate Shagget. No way. That was the problem. If he talked to Chomsky sooner. So this is also bad for the Jews. We've lost a potential ally. Potential a customer. We're lost a customer. Oh God. This is like, well, there's this very screwy testimony McChrystal's given that they're quoting, at least I saw it in HuffPo, of him saying, trying to cover up, that he hadn't covered it up. I mean, that's, as always, it's always the lie, right? It's not the act, it's the lie that gets people in trouble. So is it good for the Jews if the Iraq guy running the Iraq war is considered to have lost his authority? Okay. Okay. He definitely could have been in Congress. Could have won the last election in his no, I'm going to say riding. That's very Canadian of me. In his region. Right. She's hot for him. She's totally, he's a big stud. Look at him. Yeah. And Coulter. Does he even know a Jew? Really? There's that clip of her on somebody's show saying the Jews need to be perfected. Yeah. Right. Also, it just seems I also thought that, like, if there ever was any Jewish agenda in America, I always thought the one thing we had going in common, even though none of us have ever really gotten together, is the idea that we would just think it's funny that Christians think we have a problem, like that our response is just like the entire comedy industry. That's our response to you and your notion that we're missing something other than a few inches of some dude's penis, or whatever the last little piece. Yeah, that's my sense of like to me, if you're gonna be insecure about that and you have a television show in America right now as a Jew, like that's really creepy to me that I thought that was the thing. We weren't insecure. I was always proud of that piece of our whole thing. That was the one thing I thought we weren't insecure about. That we're like Christian schmistians. Yeah, have Jesus show up in my living room and I'll join him. I mean, I've always friends say things like that. I think that's like the one non-neurotic moment we have. Donnie Deutsch, you took that away. That's bad for the Jews, Donnie Deutsch. Ann Coulter, I think good for the Jews. She's like an advertisement not to be Christian. Right. Yeah, she's our Goyish Shylock. Yeah, and so you want to add in here, we're going to give you one last choice because we've gone on kind of long this morning. You can choose Honduras or Israeli settlements. Okay, for 400. Let's hear it. What's the deal? Oh God. They're in the middle of building something. Is that it? They don't want to interrupt their building, regardless of what it does to some people. Okay. On the units? For what? For Jews? For settlers? Not just regular Jews, off the charts ideological right wing Jews. This is so bad for the Jews. We've started. You can't stop once we've begun. I know. I have so much landscaping being done. We're hiring Palestinians to do the landscaping. It's in your interest. Oh, God. They're like the Jews of the Jews, except for the gays. Seriously, the Palestinians are the total karma for the Jews. I wish they'd wake up. There are people more stubborn than we are. Wake the F up, people. And more deserve at this point. It just drives me crazy. We're like the same people. It's like fighting with your uncle. They get Tay Sachs too? Do they read Chomsky? Well, I think they're worthy of some criticism. Right. The nastiness that's happened there. So right. It's their practical. It's very Jewy. It's perfect. Very bad for the Jews. Netanyahu, and you don't want to get involved in like it's some small little deal. Like forget the whole big thing. Okay, Netanyahu. The name alone, bad for the Jews. No one wants Yahoo in your name. It's a mistake. Big mistake. Okay, so this has been the first unedited because this is our strategy, people. We just go straight through. It's working. Watch out. You're gonna take it back. That's right. We sure do. Well, Katie, been a delight as always. Ka- Katie Halper, you can see or you're katiehalper.com, heathergold.com. We'll put some links. You'll send me the links of the settlements piece. We'll put it up. So send us if there's something you want us to talk about. Let us know. That's a good question. We have a Twitter account. Morning Jew on Twitter. Tweet us. Let us know what you want. What you want? Okay. Oh my God, your coloring just changed. Looks so good. What happened? You're gonna say shalom? Okay. See ya.